Transformation in 3, 2, 1.
Hi everybody, Heather Stargazer here to do a reading for the collective for whoever, whenever, wherever. If you're new here, welcome in. If you're a returning gazer, hi guys. Hope you're all doing fantastic this beautiful day. It is Mother's Day weekend. So I want to wish all of you mamas out there, beautiful mamas out there, a beautiful, beautiful day. If your mama's in spirit, happy Mother's Day, love to spirit. Today I will be at Glowfish Studios from 3 to 6 p.m. doing personal mini readings. The mini readings last about 10 minutes and they're $15. It's a great deal, plus a wonderful place to come in and find something for you. She's got all kinds of stuff in there. So enough the promo, just letting you guys know if you are in the area and you want to stop in today. All right, ancestors, spirits, guides, what messages do you have for the collective? Ooh, starting out with the death card, some Scorpio energy, some major changes happening, major changes. Now we have the Justice card in reverse. We have, the Seven of Swords in reverse. We kind of, what is going on here, guys? Took a couple of days off. When we come back, now we have the Knight of Cups in reverse. I will show all of you all of these. King of Pentacles in the reverse. Temperance in the reverse. You know what? This is a mixed deck. I'm trying the Judgment. So let's get 3 more. We're going to do our 9-card spread here. Middle row, all in the reverse. As a matter of fact, the only card that's in the upright so far is the Death card, this transformation. I've heard upended. Now we have the Queen of Swords coming out in the upright. We have the Page of Swords coming out in the upright. And we have the Eight of Swords. So, it's almost like something was revealed about an injustice that occurred, right? Somebody got caught and it really changed the way we looked at things, right? You could have found out that somebody was pretty emotionally manipulative and they were doing these things either for, with, or because of someone else who had higher rank than them that was very greedy, very, I heard slovenly, didn't take care of themselves very well, right? And there's like an inability to mix these two things. Maybe you're losing your patience with them. Maybe they're losing their patience with this thing, which is partially how it was revealed, right? That's what's coming across here. Queen of Swords energy, looking at the facts, looking at something logical. This is a very intelligent human being who's seeing things, who's communicating things, right? Now we have the Page of Swords in reverse, or in the upright, some kind of communication is coming through, and what that does is it puts us in kind of a space, puts you in kind of a space, the situation in space where there's this loop that's going through. Maybe we're afraid of what comes next, right? Strength on the bottom. You are stronger than you think you are. And you're about to show them how graceful strength is presented, right? And that's through the facts. Let's talk about this. This is the, it's called the Spanish tarot. It's the old school tarot. This is tarot before Rider-Waite. This is what tarot was before Rider-Waite. And it talks about this irrevocable change, something that all of us are subject to in life, right? At 333, right? When something ends, something else new can begin, the death and rebirth process. But once that happens, once something ends, it can't be resurrected in the way that it was before. Maybe we build anew. Maybe we try something different, right? The next generation of the thing. But what previously had occurred is no longer. And that could be, we get the Knight of Cups in the reverse underneath that. Again, the scorpionic energy, water energy, very emotional. Right? 8th house, death, taxes, other people's money, our relationships with others, right? How these things affect us, because when there is an ending of this kind, when there is a transformation, a change of this kind, it doesn't just affect us, it affects everyone around it, right? Everything around it. And it could be that there is like an emotional component that is kind of manipulative, right? This is like the kind of energy that will tell you whatever it is that you want to hear so that it can get its way, whether that be masculine or feminine, right? And someone's calling it out because it doesn't align with the facts. It doesn't align with the truth. It doesn't align with what is being presented, right? And this person, cold hard facts, she, the feminine of this Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, mental realm, right? Air realm. She has learned from her experience that sometimes following our intuition, following our intuition, right? Sometimes following our emotions can lead us into spaces that aren't the best logically, right? The best places to go logically. And she's making a decision here. She's communicating something clearly here about what is seen, because here it is. An injustice has occurred. There is imbalance, right? When this change occurred, it left something open, right? It left this kind of a pathway for someone to siphon off the value, right? Someone who isn't good at taking care of things, someone who is very stubborn, someone who is greedy, right? And there's like this, see how the injustice is going down to it? Well, here is this Page of Swords, and the Page of Swords sees it. Maybe it's through happenstance. It feels like something passing by, like somebody got some information and they were like, hey, see how he's telling the Queen of Swords here? What he's saying? It's being relayed. I heard relayed. The information is being shared and analyzed, right? Seven of Swords in the reverse. We got the Seven of Swords last time too. This is talking about, it was talking about exposure. Something is being seen. Something's coming to the light. Someone is being caught. Something is being called out, right? About this and the way that it just doesn't work. This is the Temperance in reverse. This is Sagittarius energy. It's really interesting too, because we have Justice, which is Libra. Then we have the Death card, which is Scorpio, and now we have the Temperance card, which is Sagittarius. There is like a timeline here, something that could have happened in the fall, around the fall equinox, that came through, right? And it caused disturbances. It made it so some things just aren't mixing. And again, that lack of patience, it keeps things from being able to heal. And that puts us in a space where we're in this mental turmoil, right? Thoughts and thoughts and thoughts. The whole bottom row is all swords for you guys. It'll be like this, right? Really seeing it, considering it, knowing what's going on, and getting all up in our head about it, what to do. And this is also could be, some people call it spiritual jail. I'm hearing entrapment, right? Whatever this is, it's brought to the light so that the person who is causing it, the energy that is causing it, can be contained. How does that happen? Well, here we have the Strength card, Leo energy. What we're missing here is Virgo. So there's like this feeling of like not analyzing something properly, not getting into the nitty gritty of it enough, not considering how it's affecting our health. Maybe that's what this King of Pentacles energy in the reverse is. That could be that lack of Virgo space in this, and in this reading here. It's like, bringing you back to that space where we don't have to push. You don't have to push. You don't have to growl back at the lion, right? There's a lot of grace here. Let's get some clarifiers. Find out what this transition was. What was this ending? Ancestors, spirits, guides. Please clarify this reading. Give us clear and precise messages. What is this? What is this Death card about? What was this change? What is the ending that occurred? What does it have to do with? Ten of Swords. Some that need to be done and over with. This is definitely an ending, a painful time, right? Something that was, it's very backstabbing, it's very biting. Again, we have that like emotionally manipulative component that turns us into a space of, mental anguish, and that is done and over with. Thank God, there is a change that is occurring here. Let it be done. All right, let it be done. This is double confirmation that cycle, that process, that occurrence, right? Maybe it's a mindset. Maybe it is an actual event that is over and done with, right? Take it how it resonates for you. Whatever it is, it's in the past. It is finished. It is finished. So why the emotional manipulation? What is this Knight of Cups about? It's like not just that. It's like actions being taken by this energy that were, false, made to look one way, but in order to do something else, to get something else. And it's almost like maybe people were being kind to this King of Pentacles energy because they didn't want to have to suffer her indignity, her wrath, right? So there was false promises that were made or false actions taken. Like they didn't really mean it. The people who were doing that didn't really mean the things they were saying. It's almost a self-defense mechanism. There's that Virgo energy that we were looking for. Here it is coming out. Knight of Cups in the reverse, Hermit in reverse. There's that Virgo in reverse energy, that not thinking things clearly, maybe being too nitpicky, too much of a perfectionist, right? In the sense that it robs you of your abilities to manifest. Both of these are mercurial, right? The Magician in the reverse, that's they say that it's Gemini, Virgo, and Aries energy, but what that is it's the thought meets action creates magic, right? And doing it in a way that is healthy and helpful, right? And we find that light within because of these false, like disingenuous actions that are being taken. It robs you, or has robbed you, of the ability to manifest. Again, master manipulator energy here, and it keeps you from being able to see the light within, to see the facts, figures, things that you already know, right? This really devious energy, we do not like it. And good thing it's being called out right now by this Queen of Swords. Tell us about this Queen of Swords. What is she doing? How is this in here? What's going on? Two of Wands in reverse on the bottom, right? She ain't at a crossroads. She is not wondering which way to go. Judgment in the reverse and the Devil card. Oh yeah, boy, she sees it. She sees what's bad, negative, unhealthy, toxic about these contracts. And very interesting too, as we've gone through the from Leo to Sagittarius, now we have this Capricornian energy. Again, it's like a timeline. It's giving you like a 6 months, right, that this had occurred. And since this is in the past row, this could be things that happened in the fall, right before the holidays, have to do with people whose birthdays are in the fall or right before the holidays. Making a judgment call when these things revisit, you know, to say no. These aren't the kinds of contracts we want to renew. This is not the kind of behavior we want to continue to engage with. We see the Devil energy for what it is, right? Toxic, controlling energy. And here she is. She ain't taking none of it. Like, you know, cutting that out with logic, right? Making that judgment call. Oh yeah. And that's, you know, all of this is being seen, and it's being seen that it caused an injustice. What is the injustice? Well, I think that's pretty obvious right now, but can you give us some clarity on this Libra in reverse? What is this Justice card? Don't give up, you guys. It's saying that even though the justice occurred, and again, that Chiron energy here, that the wounded warrior, don't give up, because it continue on your way. You're almost there. Everything that you've learned, everything that you've accomplished up until this point, right? It would be bad. Don't stop before the miracle occurs. It's being identified, right? That there is an imbalance. There is you know, you shouldn't have had to work this hard. You shouldn't have, or if you worked this hard, 1333, you should have gotten more rewards than what you received, right? That's the injustice, that you were put through all of this for someone else to reap the rewards. It's saying, don't give up. Tell us about this. Tell us about this King of Pentacles in the reverse energy. Ooh, we just don't like it. It's kind of stinky. Maybe he has like a, you know, like he's not cleaning himself, or he's not cleaning the space around him, right? There's just like when you feel kind of creepy around this person. What is that right there? It came out. Emperor in the reverse. I'm telling you what, somebody who takes advantage and abuses their power. Someone who is ultra controlling. Interesting too. Look how those are lining up like this. And again, that like you can't build new things with old wood. I'm hearing you can't build a new ship with old wood. This person is devious. This person is bad news bears. Okay. And they are about to be, I heard, dethroned by the passing of a message. The passing of a message is going to reveal all of this. Tell us about this Page of Swords. It's like a little bit, somebody doesn't even have all of the information, but it's like, see how he's pointing to his ear? And he's like, oh yeah, I got that bit I need, whatever it is, whatever that information is that's coming through. It's going to be shared with the person it needs to be shared with. This Queen of Swords energy here. Four of Wands. Is that correct? Sorry, Six of Wands. Success. Success. Coming through here. Absolutely. This is the way to victory. Right? You're actually see the Death card, here's the transformation. That occurs. It's like a whole new light. I heard a whole new ball game, right? That is available now. And everyone will see it and everyone will celebrate it. Because you're not the only person. If this is, the Emperor energy in the reverse, this is definitely affecting more than just you, right? Because it's an empire. It's the toxic masculinity. Not all masculine is toxic. Divine masculine is quite beautiful and necessary and part of the balance. The same with feminine. Here, there is an imbalance caused by someone who is, I heard Nero. Ooh, if you know anything about the Roman Empire, Nero is nuts. So this is being called out, caught, identified. Seven of Swords in the reverse. Please tell us about the Seven of Swords in the reverse. Ace of Cups. There's that true love, the real, the loving gesture. Again, don't give up right before the miracle. Don't give up right before it's recognized. Don't turn back, because what's done is done, right? This is the release of that entrapment. This is an emotional offering. This is you with your cup overflowing, because this finally has been seen. It's finally being dealt with. Where the true love lies is being noticed. You are being recognized for all of this work that you've done, the things that you've suffered through for this. It's being seen and it's all being called out. It's being caught, right? I heard the liar is being caught, the liars, the cheaters, the stealers, whatever this occurrence reflects in your daily, right? How this resonates for you. Love is coming through here. And I think that it's a lot of self-love too. Like, damn, you did it. Tell us about this Temperance in the reverse. These two things just aren't mixing together. And I think that's part of, I heard cohort, that's part of how this King of Pentacles in reverse, this negative energy is behaving, right? It's to siphon things off. It's to keep things imbalanced, out of whack, right? So that they can reap the rewards from the chaos. A whole bunch just came out. We'll see what's there. Mother of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles in the upright. Four of Swords. Taking some healing so that you can get back into that space of abundance, right? Both of the queens that came out so far in the upright, except for this one, Queen of Wands in the reverse. That's like somebody who's jealous, narcissistic, uses their, prowess to bring things in, and it's like the femme fatale kind of energy here, and then the Four of Wands. So now we have the Four of Wands and the Six of Wands. There's success coming out here. Daughter of Cups, Page of Cups energy. Look, taking a break and healing from this, we're realizing that this type of energy doesn't belong, right? This showboaty, negative, like I'm more beautiful than everyone else. It's very snobbery. It's very yucky. It's got this like gorgeous outside shell, but when you crack on the inside of it, this person is like really gross, right? And they're very attractive until they get you in their clutches. This is like very devilish energy, very toxic energy. And there's like a healing from that, because these two aren't going to be Temperance in reverse. They aren't working together, right? So by there's two fours, taking some time to reestablish your stability, your security, right? Moving on to the new into the next thing without that energy, allowing that transformation to occur, but also allowing yourself the time to heal, helps you move into a new space where true love does exist. Again, here's a message, a heartfelt message. You're the Ace of Cups to the Page of Cups here, right? And we're just going to leave that energy in the past and in the past. But it's like taking over the mind space a little bit. Tell us about this. And I think that's where the strength comes in, right? What is this eight? Ooh, what is this Eight of Swords? This person is getting caught. Maybe they're going to jail. Maybe they're putting on some kind of confinement. Maybe they're not going, there's going to be a restriction that keeps them, this allows them from being able to continue on this way, which allows you that time and space to heal. Tell me about this eight. I love this. It's the World. Major completion, totally cycle through. We start with death and the Ten of Swords, and we end at the World and the Eight of Pentacles. Listen, it's time for you to move on. Whatever is in that old world is trapped there. You are not. It is completed. You have moved on to the next cycle, the next big thing. There's a lot that you're not saying. There's a lot that's, when we accidentally said intuition earlier, here it is, the High Priestess, right? This is about learning our lessons and being able to stay in that space, a peaceful space, that peaceful strength without having to tell everybody what's going on, right? This is keeping our wisdom to ourselves. This is not telling everybody. That's part of how you're going to keep this success here, how you're going to win and how you're going to heal. All right. Letting it stay in the past. Everybody is like just dumbfounded by how wonderful of a job you're doing. I'm not kidding you here. It is being seen. Please, all of this that you're carrying, all of this maybe distrust that it's caused within you, don't give up, because you are right on the precipice of complete transformation. For this to be left in the past. And again, it's almost like, it's interesting here because there are things that you're bringing out into the world. There are things that you're sharing. There are things that you're saying, right? You're just not telling them all of it. You're not telling them those key points. Look, the Death in reverse underneath of this. You're using your intuition to know what to say when, what to reveal when, right? You're not trying to fight with anybody, but you are bringing it all to light, that it is done and over with, that it did cause all of this, and that there is now a restriction on that toxic energy where it has to it has to stay in its space. You get to progress and move. It's almost like it's just being exposed. The whole world can see, and nobody's listening to this guy anymore. These are the tea leaf. What does it say? There is something in the nature of tea that leads us into a world of quiet contemplation of life. Like having a cup of tea and also the tea, because it feels like something is being, this is where this is coming out. Somebody is seeing something and passing along that information that they're seeing, and it's what is allowing all of this to unfold. Like this Page of Swords sees stuff and he relays those messages. He says things, and what it does is it exposes this treacherous energy, this master manipulator over here, and it shows how much work you have done. It shows you how much work you have done and how little they have, how little, this is this exposure of this, and really being able to identify what is yucky on the inside, right? Symbols beginning with the letter L. Ladder, you will travel after great success. Lamp, a banquet, if found on the top, if found on the side, it shows a secret will be revealed. And if on the bottom, it shows postponement. So that's, I think, a secret will be revealed that postpones the ability of this person to continue to harvest from your manifestations. Lighthouse, you can help yourself to inspire others. You may find yourself in a position of leadership in the future, climbing that ladder. Bringing you up. We have the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles, logic and intellect, creating stability. And then this says areas of the cup. Oh, look at that. The rim symbolizes the present, the sides are the future, and the bottom is the far future. These zones can be used to determine timing, how quickly something will happen, connection, a symbol or physical distance between two people, and also the intensity. For example, the leaves on the rim suggest something in life is changing. So it's affecting not only you now in your present and in your immediate future, but the far-reaching future as well. This is a big deal. I'm telling you what, this transformation, you know, it came up in the last reading and it's continuing to come up. This is like the evolution of the circumstance, right? To let us know that it is working, even though it's divine timing and it might be taking a little more patience than we would like to have right now. It has to happen like this so it could be thorough, because this person, like I said, master at manipulating, master at siphoning off, right? And keeping people stuck. So this big, huge occurrence, this change, it needs to take a little while so it sticks, right? But just happen like that, it could be over just like that. You could just bring it all back and take it back into his possession. This is about taking the time with it. And like I said, this person is going to be caught and trapped. They're not going to be able to do this anymore. There's like a restriction on them from being able to continue on this behavior in the future. So let it take the time that it needs. Defense. Oof. The divine masculine, right? Tewas, this is about, you know, it's like being able to defend yourself in a fight, you know, in an argument. And this is intellectually and physically, right? This is like monetarily, all of it. We're going to read Awas, defense, assertive power, avertive powers. Ooh, I said assertive, but it's avertive. The ability to avert it, like get it to go somewhere else, right? The U tree, again, death and taxes. U, the Y-E-W, is called taxus, T-A-X-U-S, and it is a toxic plant. So when I'm gardening, I'd always make a joke, don't eat it, you know, death by taxus. Here it is, the U tree. As we are tested, we fund the power to avert blockage and defeat. At the same time, we develop in ourselves an aversion to the conduct that creates stressful situations in our lives. There appears to be a blockage in your path, but even a delay may prove beneficial. Do not be overly eager to press forward. This is not a time or situation in which you can make your influence felt. Patience is the counsel of Awaz. Nothing hectic, no acting needy or lusting after desired outcome. This rune speaks to the difficulties that arise at the beginning of a new life. Often it announces a time of waiting for the spring to fill up with water, for fruit to ripen on the bough. Perseverance and foresight are called for here. The ability to foresee consequences before you is the act of a mark, The ability to foresee consequences before you act is the mark of a profound person. Avert anticipated difficulties through right action. Even more than we are doers, we are deciders. Once our decision is clear, the doing becomes effortless, for then the universe supports and empowers our action. Receiving the rune Awas, you are put on notice that through inconvenience and discomfort, growth is promoted. This might well be a trying time. It certainly is a meaningful one. Set your house in order, tend to business, be clear, and wait on the will of heaven. Again, the doers and the deciders, right? More than doers, we are deciders. This gives us the time to really sit and watch and see how things come out and how things occur before we take that action, right? And again, temperance in reverse, like this negative boss energy, this negative masculine energy, the toxic thing, by keeping us and pushing and not letting things be done in good time, right? It's like a frantic energy. So while you're trying to clean up this mess, something else is happening over here. Does this sound familiar? It's exactly what's going on. It wants us to remember to, don't be pushed into, harsh action. Don't be pushed into something because you're panicked or it feels hectic, right? Decide, take this quiet time. Queen of Pentacles, Four of Swords energy, quiet time to decide, right? Because then the doing becomes effortless. Tewaz, the energy warrior, the god too. This is the rune of the spiritual warrior. Always the battle of the spiritual warrior is with the self. Funding a will through action, yet unattached to outcomes. Remaining mindful that all you can really do is stay out of your own way and let the will of heaven flow through you. These are the hallmarks of the spiritual warrior. Embodied in this rune is the energy of discrimination, the sword-like quality that enables us to cut away the old, the dead, the extraneous. With Tewaz comes certain knowledge that the universe always has first move. Patience, again with the patience. Patience is the virtue of this rune, and it calls for us, in the words of St. Augustine, that the reward of patience is patience. The molding of character is the issue when Tewaz appears in your spread. Here you are asked to look within, to delve down to the foundations of life itself. Only in doing so can you hope to deal with the deepest needs of your nature and to tap into your most profound resources. Associated with this rune are the sun and the masculine energy, the active principle. The urge toward conquest is prominent here, especially self-conquest, which is a lifelong pursuit and calls for awareness, single-mindedness, and the willingness to undergo your passage without anxiety and in total trust. When Tewaz comes in response to an issue of romantic attachment, it indicates that the relationship is both timely and providential. The bond is to a partner with whom you resonate. There is work for you to be done together. If the issue relates to your devotion to a cause, an idea, a path of conduct, the warrior rune counsels perseverance, although at this time the kind of perseverance called for is patience. What are your priorities? How are you using your energy? Tewaz is a rune of courage and dedication. In ancient times, it was the glyph that warriors painted on their shields before battle. Now, with more refined energies at play, the same symbol strengthens your resolve in the struggle of the self with the self. Wow, again, that patience, that letting right action flow through you, right, in the life, right? There is something in the nature of tea that leads us into a world of quiet contemplation of life. What do you want out of your life? What would you like it to look like, right? Where would you like to see this all this work that you've been doing, all of this energy that someone else has been siphoning off? Once it starts coming back to you, you're going to realize how much you've actually been doing in this time of quiet contemplation. What is it that fills up your cup? Think about it. Decide where you'd like that to flow, right? Because that's what you're bringing out into the world, right? And again, your secrets are safe with you as long as you keep them safe there. It's building your strength to go out into the world and be free from this with all of the gifts that you've accumulated. So congratulations. Remember, patience. Patience is key. I hope that was helpful. I hope that you got something out of it. Thank you so much for being here right at 3333. Thank you for hitting like and subscribe. And thank you for coming back and seeing us again next time. Bye.
Transformation in 3, 2, 1.